wanna know what's really going on, search for the answers and question it all. Turn your televisions off, cause you're being brainwashed. Brainwashed, brainwashed. If you wanna know what's really going on, search for the answers and question it all. Turn your televisions off, cause you're being brainwashed. Brainwashed, brainwashed.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for coming back to another broadcast over here at the LS Network. Now, really quick, guys, you guys have noticed that we've done a lot of live streaming lately here on the network. Not just on YouTube, but we've also done a lot of live streaming on the network's Facebook page as well. Bear with me over here, guys. I told you guys ever since I was going to be getting my new setup, you know, I'm really going to be taking this to a whole new level, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm in the middle of learning how to make one live stream and broadcast over multiple sections, multiple platforms, and everything. I'm self-educating myself, guys. I've watched plenty of YouTube videos. I've read a lot of information, and again, it's a real hands-on thing going on here at the LS Network. So again, I'm learning. We're gonna again continue to keep up the broadcasting and try to keep up to date with everything that's going on. And again, you know, we've been focusing really heavily within the last couple of weeks with what's going on here in America. You know, with the government shutdown, Democrats fighting for DACA. Now we have the FBI and the release of the FISA memo. Democrats are putting out their own memo. You know, we have a whole lot of division, not with just race going on in this country, but now, you know, political factions. You know, our national security is at risk with everything that's going on. But anyways, guys, I wanted to take a step away from that for a moment. And I said a couple of days ago that I was going to be putting a video together on Turkey and Syria. And I haven't done that again, guys. I apologize. I woke up this morning and I had a notification from one of my subscribed people that I subscribe to. And you guys heard me talk about him before, Stephen Banoon, over there at Israeli News Live. I'll post a video in the description for you guys to watch it. But he is saying, and he's showing, that the United States has deployed forces to counter Turkish aggression. Again, I'll post the link to that video so you guys can see it. But let me give you guys like a little idea on what's going on. And again, you guys heard me say over here at the LS Network, you got to remember what happened in the past to get to where we are now. And with that being said, you can go back in my, you know, in my past, in my videos back in the day, probably about as far as 6-7 months ago, and we started talking about a little rhetoric between Turkey and the United States. Now, to get the whole understanding, you guys got to understand that the Kurdish people, they were a part of Turkey at one point, and sort of like what's going on with, you know, trying to purge its country from one nation to another. You know, the Kurdish people are being, you know, sprawled out. Turkey's trying to get rid of the Kurdish people. Told Americans that that Turkey itself considers Kurdish forces a terrorist organization. United States were over there in Syria, you know, fighting. It was said that we was over there fighting ISIS, but we're also training Kurdish forces, you know, to help fight ISIS and whatnot. And Turkey has come out and said that, you know, they feel that Kurdish forces are a terrorist organization. United States has said, you know, that may be true, but we're not in Turkey. Again, guys, I have documentation and all this information on my previous videos. You can click on the videos, listen to the videos, check out the description. All the articles are there. So anyways, what's going on now, guys, is Turkey, I've said that Turkey has actually invaded into Syria. And they are coming after the Kurds. They've been in northern Syria. They've taken over a couple towns. Well, things are heating up over there right now. As you can see, risk of conflict in northern Syria between U.S. and Turkey, it's rising. And it is. It is. Again, United States stands firm with the Kurds. Even Russia says that they believe that the Kurds should have their free state. Bala al-Assad has come out and said that he will stand up for the Kurds, and Israel's even, you know, all for the Kurdish people as well. One thing that's very interesting, guys, and, you know, one thing that I try to understand as a whole here when we listen to this story is it's a mess. All right, we don't know what's going on. just a couple days ago, there was an article saying that Bashar al-Assad, or the Syrian army, used another chemical weapon just outside of Damascus. Now, back in April of last year, when we first heard about it, you guys remember when President Trump fired off the 50-some cruise missiles, Tomahawk cruise missiles into Syria, and it was because of the chemical attack. A lot of false flags within that area. If you follow the paper trail of chemical weapons being smuggled into Syria, there's proof of it actually being smuggled in from Turkey. So, that's very interesting with what's all going on in today's news regarding this situation. But we talk about Turkey, we talk about Syria, all the factions, they're pretty much saying where they're standing. When that news article came out about Syria using the chemical attack just recently, there was another article that's saying General Mad Dog Mattis, he was really, really upset about it. So again, it's really confusing because we don't know who's all standing where and how long they're going to stand there. Again, we know Russia's all for the Turks, the Kurdish forces. We know United States are there to protect the Kurdish forces. But Turkey has come out and told the United States to either get out of Syria or face consequences. They made that threat. Well, Stephen Bannoun today, again, I'll post the article in the description for you guys, and you guys can read it. I'm trying to find the exact same the tweet that he found to bring up to you guys, and I can't find it. But it's showing that the United States troops has been deployed in northern Syria to counter Turkish aggression. So again, guys, that's something to really pay attention to. If you go to Twitter and you just type in Turkey and U.S., you guys will clearly see, you guys can see right here. I spelled it wrong, but still, it came up. There's a lot of information going on between Turkey and the United States from different sources. You guys can click on it. But anyways, I just want you guys to pay attention to this because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the Middle East. Everyone's more focused about here on the home front, and we have every right to. We're Americans. We care about what happens in our home front. But also, I like to take a time to see what's going on globally. Just in case a global conflict happens. At least I'll know somewhat of how and where and why, because there's going to be a lot of people that's paying so much attention to what's going on here in America. Tonight, we're going to have the Super Bowl. Again, with the FISA memo, heightened security. There's terrorist threats at the Super Bowl, Antifa, Black Lives. There's just so much going on here. All eyes are on this, and no one's really paying attention to this. So I just wanted to bring it to you guys to please, if you guys have a moment once in a while, check into this story, find out what's going on, because this is going to be an evolving story. It's going to keep going. And it's very interesting to see how this is going to play out. And I'm not saying that it's interesting as in I hope there's a war. It's just going to be interesting what goes down, guys. Alright, so anyways, everyone, thanks for watching this clip. Please do the information, go back on my channel, watch the videos, educate yourself on the past a little bit to understand what's happening here in the present, and then we'll get a better understanding of what we're reading in the future of how this has happened. Alright, guys, I'll see you guys later.